Hello, my friends, and welcome back to SWT English Learning. Today, we are going to talk about something that can completely change the way you learn English, something so simple yet so powerful that most learners overlook it. I am talking about listening, the true doorway to speaking English naturally. When most learners think about studying English, what comes to mind? They usually think about grammar books, word lists, or exams. Some sit for hours memorizing rules. Others try to force hundreds of vocabulary words into their brain. And yes, these things have their place, but they are not the heart of language learning. The real heart is listening. Listening is the bridge that carries you to speaking. Listening is the seed, and speaking is the plant that grows from it. Think about this. Before you spoke your very first word as a child, what did you do? You listened. You listened to voices around you, to conversations in the room, to laughter, to stories, even to arguments. You absorbed sounds long before you ever tried to say anything. No child is born with grammar rules. No child studies flashcards before speaking. They listen, and then, naturally, words start to flow. They come without hesitation, without fear, and without translation. Now here's the problem. When we grow up and start learning languages as adults, we often flip this process upside down. Instead of listening first, we try to speak first. Instead of hearing the rhythm, we try to memorize the rules. Instead of soaking in natural sound, we bury ourselves in textbooks. This is why so many learners feel stuck. They know vocabulary, they know grammar, but when they open their mouth, silence. Or worse, the words come slowly, painfully, with hesitation. The solution is simple. Go back to the natural way. Make listening the center of your learning. Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to learn how to dance. If you read a book about dance steps, could you dance? If you memorized the names of the moves, could you dance? Of course not. You must watch dancers, listen to the music, feel the rhythm, and then copy it. Language is the same. If you want to speak naturally, you must first listen naturally. At the beginning, yes, it will feel hard. Native speakers talk quickly. They connect words. They use expressions you may not know. Sometimes it will feel confusing, even frustrating. But this is exactly how it's supposed to feel. It means your brain is waking up to new sounds. Don't try to translate every single word. Don't panic if you miss something. Think of it like listening to the rain. You don't count every drop, you just hear the sound and let it wash over you. The more you listen, the more your brain begins to recognize patterns. It starts to notice which words connect, where sentences pause, and which sounds repeat again and again. Slowly, the noise becomes language. Slowly, language becomes meaning. And then, without forcing it, speaking begins to flow. This is why listening is not just practice, it is the foundation of fluency.
Now that we understand listening is the foundation, let's take it deeper. Listening is not only about hearing words, it's about training your ear and your brain to think in English. Think about athletes for a moment. A basketball player doesn't just read about how to shoot. He spends hours watching the game, hearing the sound of the ball bouncing, feeling the rhythm of movement. His body learns through repetition, not rules. Language learning works in the same way. When you listen to English often, your brain begins to train itself. It picks up the speed, the melody, and the structure of sentences. Without even noticing, you start to predict what comes next. You hear, and your brain prepares to answer. This is the silent stage before speaking, and it is powerful. But how can you make listening work for you every single day? Let me share some practical methods. 1. Listen in different situations. Don't limit yourself to one type of English audio. Mix it up. Listen to short stories, conversations, podcasts, news reports, or even motivational speeches. Each one teaches you something new. A story trains your imagination. A news clip trains your focus on facts. A podcast helps you hear natural conversation. For example, if you're walking to work, put in your earphones and listen to a podcast about travel or food. If you're cooking, play a short story in English. If you're relaxing before sleep, listen to a guided meditation in English. Each moment of your day can become practice. 2. Don't try to understand 100%. This is a mistake many learners make. They think, if I don't understand every single word, it's useless. That's not true. In fact, understanding 70 to 80% is the perfect level. Why? Because your brain stays active. It gets enough to follow along, but still learns from the unknown. Think of it like watching a sports game when you don't know all the rules. At first, it looks confusing, but the more you watch, the more you understand the rhythm and the strategy. Soon, you don't need someone to explain, you just get it. 3. Focus on the rhythm, not just words. English has a rhythm, just like music. Listen for the rise and fall of voices, the stress on certain words, the pauses. For example, in English, we often emphasize key words and skip over small words quickly. If you learn the rhythm, your speech will sound more natural even if your grammar isn't perfect. Try this exercise. Close your eyes while listening to a short clip. Don't focus on the meaning. Instead, focus only on the rhythm, like listening to a drum beat. This trains your ear to feel English. 4. Use micro-listening. Sometimes, instead of listening to a long podcast, choose just 1 minute of audio. Play it again and again. Each time you'll notice something new, a new word, a new connection, a new sound. Think about how a musician practices. They don't play the whole song perfectly from the start. They take one small part, repeat it again and again, and master it. Do the same with English. The best part? With just 10 minutes a day, you can transform your listening ability. You don't need hours of study. You need consistent, focused practice. And here's a truth most learners don't realize. Listening changes your speaking automatically. You don't need to force it. The words you hear every day begin to appear in your own speech. The rhythm you hear becomes the rhythm you use. The sentences you hear become the sentences you say. This is why listening is not a side skill. It's not extra. It's the main road that leads you to fluency.
We've seen that listening shapes your brain and prepares you to speak. Now, let's explore one of the most powerful techniques that combines both listening and speaking, shadowing. Shadowing is simple, but it's one of the fastest ways to sound natural in English. What do? You listen to someone speaking in English, and at the same time, you copy them immediately, like their shadow. You don't pause, you don't stop to think, you simply let the words flow through you. It may feel strange in the beginning, almost like singing along to a song you don't fully know. But very quickly, your mouth begins to move faster, your ears become sharper, and your speaking feels smoother. Here's how to practice shadowing step by step. 1. Choose the right audio. Pick something that is not too easy, not too hard. If it's too easy, you won't grow. If it's too difficult, you'll feel lost. Aim for audio where you understand about 70%. That way, you already know enough, but you still have new things to learn. 2. Listen first without speaking. Before you shadow, listen once carefully. Don't repeat, don't write. Just pay attention to the flow, the energy, the rhythm of the voice. This step warms up your ears. 3. Start shadowing. Play the audio again and repeat immediately after the speaker. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't stop if you miss a word. Keep going, just like running beside someone. Even if you stumble, you keep moving. 4. repeat many times. This is the secret. The first time may feel awkward. The second time feels smoother. By the fifth or sixth time, it begins to feel automatic. The more you repeat, the more confident you become. Shadowing is not just about pronunciation. It improves your listening speed, your speaking flow, and even your confidence. Think of it like singing along to your favorite song. You don't stop to think about each word. You just let your mouth follow the music. That's the feeling shadowing gives you with English. Now let me share some practical examples of how you can use shadowing in daily life. If you're watching a short video in English, play one sentence at a time and shadow it. If you're listening to an audiobook, pick one short section and shadow along. If you enjoy TED Talks or motivational speeches, choose a clip you like and shadow it daily for a week. Each time you do this, you are building powerful habits. Your tongue learns the movement of English sounds. Your ears learn to catch fast speech. Your brain learns to respond without translating. And the best part? You can practice shadowing anywhere, on a bus, during a walk, or even while waiting in line. You don't need a classroom, a teacher, or special tools. All you need is your phone and your voice. Remember this: repetition builds fluency. You don't become fluent by doing something once. You become fluent by repeating it so many times that it becomes automatic. That's why shadowing is more than just practice. It's transformation. It turns passive listening into active learning. It turns fear into confidence. It turns silence into speech.
By now, you understand that listening is the foundation, and shadowing is the powerful method that connects listening to speaking. But to truly succeed, you need to build listening into your daily life until it becomes a habit as natural as brushing your teeth. Fluency doesn't come from one big effort. It comes from small actions, repeated daily without stopping. The good news is listening is easy to include in your routine if you're creative. Let me show you how. 1. Turn idle time into practice time. We all have moments in our day when we're not really doing anything, waiting for a bus, walking to work, cooking, or cleaning. These are perfect times to listen. Instead of scrolling on your phone, put on a short podcast or an English story. Those little minutes add up to hours of practice every week. 2. Mix fun with learning. If listening feels boring, you won't continue. So choose content you actually enjoy. Do you love sports? Listen to sports commentary in English. Do you enjoy cooking? Play recipe videos. Do you like mysteries? Listen to detective audiobooks. When you enjoy what you hear, your brain learns faster because it's relaxed. 3. Use repetition wisely. Don't just listen once and move on. Repeat the same audio many times. The first time, it may sound fast. The second time, you catch more words. By the fifth time, you understand much more. By the 10th time, you can almost predict the sentences. That's how listening creates automatic understanding. 4. Shadow in short bursts. Even if you only have 5 minutes, shadow 1 or 2 sentences. It's better to do short daily practice than long, stressful sessions once in a while. Remember, fluency grows like a plant. You water it a little every day, and it becomes strong. 5. Stay patient and consistent. This is perhaps the hardest part for many learners. They expect results in 1 week. But language doesn't grow overnight. Think of listening like exercise. The first day at the gym, your muscles don't change. But after weeks and months, the results are clear. In the same way, if you practice listening daily, your English will surprise you after a few months. And here's something important. Don't wait for perfection. Don't wait until your grammar is perfect or until you know every word. Start now with what you have. Listening itself will fill the gaps naturally over time. A final message for you.
So, my friends, let's bring everything together. If you want to transform your English, make listening your foundation. It's the seed of fluency. Practice shadowing. It's the bridge from listening to speaking. Repeat daily. Small habits every day build big results. Stay patient and consistent. Trust the process, and progress will come. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. If you listen for just 20 minutes a day and practice shadowing for 5 minutes, that's over 120 hours of listening and 15 hours of shadowing. Do you see the difference that will make? Your ears will be sharper, your speech smoother, and your confidence much higher. So don't wait. Start today. Listen while you walk, shadow while you cook, repeat while you relax. Step by step, your English will grow stronger. Thank you for spending this time with SWT English Learning. I believe in you, and I know you can do this. Keep listening, keep shadowing, and keep building the habit every day. Your English journey is not about perfection, it's about progress. And with listening as your guide, fluency will come naturally.